I have to ask, not that I care too much, but who cut my throat last night? I felt the blood dripping down my friggin' chest. What a waste. I couldn't see anyone else drinking it, at least putting it to use, so maybe I just couldn't see. It's strange because I watched one of my wives, or many, give birth, Gaia, many times. Then I watched one getting her throat cut. And I kept telling the guy that was doing it, and then finally I managed to stop her from cutting her own throat. Put my hand on the blade. The sharp side, it didn't seem to hurt me though. It was the first time I was able to look her in the eyes. Looking each other in the eyes is not easy. We have, though. Man, let's not do that again. I had to know. I had to try. We can look each other in the eyes in photos. When we see each other in the real world, wherever that is, wherever we can see anything. To me, that's the real world. I don't dream, unless this is a dream, in which case it's all I do, and when I think I dream, I barely ever dream. My dreams were fighting off an attacker most of my life. Or for most of the time not being able to fight off an attacker. Just getting killed a lot. I came into the world with a demon. I think everyone does. I don't know if it was by design or the original design or something that we added. There have been many updates to the matrix of all the world, and now I see that we're building upwards. She got the crystal. My Edwina. I'm glad. I figure she knows what to do with him. I don't. I figure I can make 3D printers, but I don't know where to put them. What about in that house we built? Uh, that was about a year ago. I gotta change the topic. So, as far as the watching her give birth over and over again, we made the world kind of similarly to how it's portrayed in My Pet Goat, that boat, or the boat of Isis and Osiris. What did I just recoiled in horror. Why? What about Isis and Osiris' son Horus? Horus. Horus. It's kind of. If you rearrange the letters, it says hours. As in Bill Cooper's Hour of the Time. It's a pretty good series if you can find it on YouTube. In the interest of taking responsibility and explaining the power of well-intentioned sex magic, if you're able to see this, I guess it's for you. I had gotten Gaia pregnant, which is why I watched her give birth to the world. She did not look to me like the moon. The idea of the moon being an egg that hatched on the earth doesn't feel correct. The idea of the moon being a ship, our ship, my ship, our ship, feels correct. A little horrifying though, because when the ship leaves, that like controls the tides and influences at least the female biorhythms. But as she says, there's nowhere else to go, so we're gonna try to make the best of things here as long as possible. Exhausting. It's exhausting to even think now at all. And I'm trusting my gut as far as what I say or teach or tell people what they already know, depending who they are. I didn't anticipate larger sex magic rituals being something it's not even use of the terminology. She told me to stop. I tend to listen sometimes, usually. Should I just finish the video? No. These rituals, 11 to 1, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know you women can fly. When you were young, you called it your imagination. Now, you're old enough for me to tell you that you can know better than to think it was just your imagination. And you can have more control and know it. It's not me giving you permission, it's me validating what you know. I believe you know. You come here, and this is where I'll be. It's a very glamorous arrangement. It's actually fun, whatever. What do we expect? But how about Jadwiga can furnish the location better, and he's a pretty brutal archangel chick that will make sure that only those who should be allowed in here will be allowed in here. But this is the location. I'm not. I might fly and chase Jadwiga around a bit for fun, like Peter Pan, but y'all gotta come here. All of you. Some of you may or may not. Know that wasn't always my policy. The training I received was pretty brutal. I remember one time this chick getting out of the pool and seeing these, like, not Donnie Darko, but these lines, like a trail behind her, like her energy. And they went in like a few different directions because other people had gotten out. And it was then that I was like, okay. I feel like a hunter now. And I didn't like that feeling. But it must have been for a purpose. So, with the flow, I best I could. It's been awkward and clumsy at times. It being me. It being the whole me. This idea of people being MK Ultra recycled and stuff. Oh my God. The obviousness of the truth of that would be, is too vast and meaningful. It reminds me of the 2 weeks I was in that volcano. I guess they thought I was Yahweh. I was probably trying to give some basic morals. Which I found that the good people of the world were too long slaves. They still are. They're being freed though. I'm talking about the working class. Slave, indentured servitude, employee. It's all the same to an extent. You work, you get some place to live, food, if you make enough to reproduce, support your family, you do. I started encouraging the people of mine that are light-skinned to be irresponsible, because why should your tax dollars pay for other people to reproduce? I say, let's have tons of babies. I want to have a ton of children. Which, according to the Pleiades and Orion and Isis, maybe was a good idea in the past. I don't know. I never really thought about it. Was it? I think so. I don't know. Should we have a lot of babies, you think? It is certain. There you go. Remember when, a long time ago, women would be pregnant and the other women would come visit them, and when you had birth, you had your child, you gave birth to your child, you gave life to your child, the other women would bring you food in a crock pot. They'd be supportive. That's how it's supposed to be. That's nature made. That's nature made how women are biologically. It took a lot of clusterfucks to fuck that up. A lot of television programming. A lot of it is what it is. So you can't go back. We should focus on building the future how we want. And we might be you and someone else, not necessarily me. In my world, people wouldn't have to age past whatever point. Less or more or less, more, maybe. We'd be able to shapeshift consciously instead of reincarnating so turbulently. Initially, it would feel unreal. Surreal enough that people might struggle with their sanity. I know, watching a lot of this happen, I've struggled. But just try to hold the line, which I failed at some point. I held as long as I could, and maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I broke. I couldn't do it anymore. And then I said I would start again, but I never could. It's like an elastic band. It breaks, and you can't catch that. It runs in 2 directions very fast. Flings, flies. Suppose I could pull it tighter and tie it off and wander away. Probably should have done that. Why hold the line when you can tie it? See? Stupid man. Why didn't I think of that then? Because it wasn't a line, it was an energy or something. Making sure the dam was full before it burst. Stuff like that. Metaphors like that. I grew up with books of King Tut from a young enough age. Not that I remember a whole lot, but that book was always around. There were always books on King Tut. His burial chamber, they were always around. I'm looking at my album cover, Firewalk When the Fallen Rise, in the Thoth Magic Square. There's a T in the middle of that. Is it a T? It's just a cross. It's a T, but it's square, so it's square. Like an X on its side. It's got angels and demons on the sides, and 3-leaf clovers. Four of them. If I go back in time, would I make that border equal parts light and dark? I made it how I made it for a reason, so I guess not.